It's called Advanced Answering Techniques. So it is three professional people explaining to other people how to answer different questions, a multiple variety of questions. Advanced Answering Techniques.
Rolling.
Hello and welcome to Advanced Answering Techniques. I'm your host, Josh. I'm joined by Caleb.
Hi.
And Gabe.
Hi.
Guys, did you like our new intro, our new theme?
I loved it.
It's great.
It's great.
It's a great theme.
It's great. The theme was already great, and it got a little bit better because Joy recently on an episode had a question where she sort of had to explain to someone what the show was.
So we're just outing her at this point?
Her identity had been concealed, but it's fine.
Well, I want her to get credit.
Right.
I do
I
want her to
agree.
get now that it's the
Right.
theme and we're like using it as part of like, you know, the branding of the show.
And we
Yeah.
didn't ask her,
We didn't ask her to do it.
Yep.
or if we could.
Well, we
Yes.
own it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm not worried about it. I think Joy will only be pleased.
I hope so.
Yeah.
If past, if the history of
Yeah.
the show has anything to
Yeah.
has any bearing on this, I think that's accurate.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
she could only be pleased. It's not like we make money doing this
Right.
that she's
Right.
missing out on.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
She's like, why didn't you guys pay me? For
yeah.
It is not like that.
Yeah.
No.
We do not. So
No, but we appreciate
Yeah.
we
appreciate, hopefully.
we appreciate
yeah, we always
every day.
appreciate.
Every day.
We can't not.
Yep. And thank you, Justin,
And thank you, Justin.
for giving us that we're using. Yeah.
Again, royalty free.
Royalty free.
Right. Look, hey, they wouldn't have thought of these things if we didn't start the conversation.
It's
That's true. And
Yeah.
I also, we were chatting a bit earlier, and Caleb, you were mentioning that this is something that we should do more of.
Yep.
We should, we're already outsourcing what
Okay.
is the episode going to be.
Yes. Yes.
That's not our decision. It's somebody else's decision.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, it is. It is actually one of the things that contributes to the podcast being made every week.
Continuing
to exist.
Yep. We're dependent on
Yeah.
other people's
Yeah.
thoughts.
Yep.
And honestly, what if we did like a AI thing where like we made AI versions of each of us,
Mm-hmm.
and then we could just watch those things converse.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That would be so nice
Yeah.
for me personally.
Yeah.
And then if they
I
said
hate,
anything,
guys, I don't know about you, but I hate hearing my voice on tape.
right.
oh
Very
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. You know what
On
I would much
tape, yeah.
rather hear is
it's okay on digital
a
files. for me.
computer
That's fine.
to like take my voice from all these episodes and then recreate it. And then you could just type,
Yeah.
prompts, and it would run off
Yeah.
of that. That's what I would love to hear.
I love to hear
Yeah.
that.
That's the ultimate delegation, like
You could
Caleb
sort
is
of
saying.
blame it and any mistakes or bad things that
Yeah.
were said that it somehow came up with out of
Right.
all of the things we've said.
Yeah.
Like it thinks
Yeah.
we would want to say a bad
Right.
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
We could just go, well, it's AI. It's
That's a
AI
bug.
computer
Yeah.
bug in the algorithm.
Yeah. Is it a bug or a feature? Well,
Or-
we think it's a bug.
Yeah.
We think it's a bug, a bitty bug.
When somebody sort of uses the things that we've said to, undermine us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
That's
a
not a
bug.
feature.
that's a bug. Well, yeah, and it's also, but it's sort of like if you drink a lot,
Mm-hmm.
if you get drunk a lot, then you can just blame a lot of your mistakes on drinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a feature.
And that's a feature.
Drinking a lot is a bug.
Yes.
Right.
But then blaming
But then
it.
being able to blame all of your
Oh, well, I
Right.
did
poor
that because I
behavior.
was drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, okay,
Right,
right.
right.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Cirrhosis is also a feature.
I didn't say, yeah, you get to spend quality time with a dialysis technician.
It's true.
Get to go. Well, yeah.
And they're usually just really cool.
That's more of a
It's a
kidney
kidney
thing.
issue, not a liver thing.
Not a
but-
hepatic.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Wow. Okay. Well, I've been doing the wrong thing.
Okay. All right.
just going in for a little light dialysis, thinking it was going to improve your liver function.
okay.
I screwed up.
It can't hurt.
Doesn't seem like it
It's-
would.
you do have to treat the body as
Yeah.
a whole.
No, I think
I mean, I'm like,
entity,
if I
right?
give my kidneys a break, maybe they'll pick up the liver slack.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
When your livers are failing.
Your liver is just like,
Your livers.
yo, kidneys.
Both of them.
Help me out. I'm going to outsource some of my
Yeah.
jobs to you.
Right, exactly. That's just what we're doing.
Kidneys, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
If only my kidneys could start creating some bile.
I mean, I feel like that would be troubling if that's what ended up happening.
They're like their kidneys are making. They're like, I guess this is bile.
Yeah, sure. I don't know exactly what to do.
It doesn't seem good.
I'm getting as close as I can. And I hope it's not hurting more than
The kidneys are like, I'm just trying to help this guy out.
I'm just doing my
Look,
best.
I don't usually do this job,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
It might not be the best bile. It's subpar
It's
bile.
serviceable bile.
Yeah, that is it's quite an apt.
It's one of the ways to
Metaphor.
get out of it. You
Yeah.
go, hey, look, these
Yeah.
people aren't professional
Right.
and
Questioners.
question
They're not.
answerers.
Right.
So they're you can easily go, look, we'll come in and we'll save the day afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Save the answer day.
We leave it to the professionals. That would be
Yeah.
interesting if we could maybe at some point in the future we could figure out a way for folks to try to test their metal
Yeah.
to see if they can answer some questions.
Right.
Good idea.
Maybe not questions that we ask.
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
That would make us in some way subservient.
No.
or-
No,
wouldn't
it
make it.
Less than.
unless we then tell them how they
Correct it.
did it all wrong
Corrected there.
later.
We're like,
Well, right. That's one thing is we have questions that come to us. If you
Right.
feel like you have an answer or some kind of technique that we didn't explore, feel free to send it in.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
no guarantees.
Sure.
of what
Right.
will happen after
Yeah.
that.
Yes, exactly. That's good. That's a good point. You can start sending in answers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the show is going through a lot of changes really fast, just kind of like on a whim, and
We just gotta sit here and
hey,
check it out. What's
you
going?
know?
What are these people talking about to
Yeah,
each other?
yeah,
We're
right.
just-
So
what
yeah,
are these people who may or may not know each other asking and answering each other?
wow, I like it. I mean, I'm to borrow some internet parlance, I'm here for it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
funny.
It's kind of like setting up like two cameras across from each other.
Just feedback loop. Yeah, and imagine if that's all. They're all AI.
Right. Yeah, the cameras
Just
are
bots.
AI.
They can't. Well, I just mean the answer, and the questioner are
Yeah.
just AI.
Yeah.
It's like when you know that video of a guy calling up a Domino's
Yeah.
Domino's place
Yeah.
and a Pizza Hut and having them order pizza from each other.
Or figure out.
That
yeah.
is
Yeah.
that's the accurate thing.
That's-
That is great.
That's
I love that.
one of the great offerings from the internet.
Yep.
Yep.
So let's crack right into it, guys. We've got a question here. Let's hear it.
Hey guys, Cyrus here. I have a question about a recent sort of minor conflict I had. I was walking home one night from Bootsers, a local coffee shop, and I was on my way home. It is dark, and somebody's dog runs up to me and kind of starts sniffing me. The dog's not being aggressive, it's not being mean, it's not a huge deal, but I jog forward. I move away from the dog because I don't really want a strange dog sniffing me. It's kind of a big dog. And the dog follows me. It runs up, catches up to me. And then basically I yell back. There's a couple behind me, and they clearly are the ones who own the dog. And I yell out, "Hey, could you leash your dog?" And I don't say this in an angry tone. I wouldn't say it's a friendly tone, but it's definitely not mean. But I yell that out, and their response is a unfriendly obscenity, which isn't proper to repeat on advanced answering techniques. So my question is, am I in the wrong? And if I'm not, how should I go forward to bring justice for myself?
Okay.
Wow.
Lots of ground to cover there.
Yeah.
A minor conflict.
Mm-hmm.
For me, this would be pretty major conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a fairly conflict-free existence, this would be a big deal for me.
It would shape my week
It would shape-
potentially.
Yes, I mean potentially the rest of my life.
Yeah, man. I mean, you just don't know.
Wow.
Just start staying inside a lot
Right.
more.
Right. Right.
If this is what's going on out there.
Right.
Yeah, there's
Try to find
dogs.
out like what smells dogs don't like to try to
Yeah.
like repel them.
Yeah.
You know?
Keep them away.
And
They
some of
probably just
those
like all
are like
smells.
what? Like,
That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to think of what I don't
Smells
like, and they
dogs
like all
don't
those
like.
Yeah.
smells. So
like
That's a tough one for dogs. I mean, they don't like the way skunks smell.
that's true.
do they not?
If you were to, I don't think so. I think they freak out pretty.
But I feel like isn't it?
So
isn't
there
it
you
like,
go, Gabe.
That's how they get into trouble. Yeah, it's true. It's a good point. But then other dogs might come smelling at you
Why?
because I don't know, weird dogs, like a weird
Oh,
dog.
okay.
you
So
know?
now we got to take care
So
of
now-
weird
you know-
dogs.
you know
So
how,
Gabe's
like-
positing the idea of weird dogs.
Okay. So now we're worrying. I thought we were just worrying
Okay.
about normal dogs.
I guess-
But now we've got to take into account
Yes.
weird dogs.
All the edge cases.
This is the point. This is the point. This sort of a conflict, an event, would push you to that level of paranoia where
Right.
you have to think, you have to even consider weird dogs.
Right.
You're,
Right.
You've already eliminated, mitigated everything you can
Yeah.
against the normal dogs,
Right.
but then those weird ones. I'm just saying,
No,
how there are
that's a good
people
point.
who are like, I like the way, my
Yeah.
smelly feet smell or something
Yeah.
like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
People
I
have
don't want to
like
get into that.
that's weird.
Yeah.
And dogs, they probably have some weird. There's probably some weird dogs.
There's
out
probably
there.
some weird dogs. Yep.
Anyway.
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, a pretty major event, and
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the smell isn't the thing. Maybe you put like spikes on your shoes or your clothes or something. Make it so it's spiky when they try to smell.
okay,
Yeah.
poke the dogs.
Yeah.
Like a
Anything.
porcupine. I'm just thinking of different animals
Right.
that are
That
going to
have
be
built up.
problems for dogs in the wild.
Yeah,
Skunks, porcupines,
dog.
You say
defenses.
You say porcupine, in an
Porcupine.
interesting way.
porcupine,
Poor cup.
Porcupine.
porcupine,
Porcupine.
Yeah.
So you guys say porcupine.
I definitely do.
porcupine.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just.
That
noticing.
sounds like you're saying a
Porcupine.
mean thing to someone.
I'm rebuking. Caleb's getting rebuked right here.
Wow.
So one thing I did want to address initially in the question is I told my wife the question. She doesn't like to hear anything about the podcast or listen to it, but
Which is crazy because tons of people love it.
tons
So
of
many people love it and listen.
Love it. But she when I told her what Cyrus had done, she said, "Really?" So her immediate reaction was, "That was bad what Cyrus did.
Oh man, I disagree with your wife.
Cyrus should not have done that."
I'm so glad that.
Well,
that-
didn't
I'm
you-
so glad Abby doesn't. Or sorry,
That's fine.
I'm so glad your wife doesn't listen because that's really.
It would
just-
be embarrassing to know that
Yeah.
she was going to hear herself get called out that
Right.
way.
yeah.
Yeah.
The I felt like when we said it earlier to you,
Yeah.
your reaction was, "Really, he did that?"
I was impressed.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was actually impressed.
like
I was
this-
like,
you're
that's
like-
that is the right thing to do, but many people would not do it.
Cyrus did the right thing. in
There's
your
nothing
opinion.
wrong, at least, with what he
Right.
did. You could go either way with aggressive dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if
Yeah.
a dog's being aggressive to
Yes.
you,
Exactly.
It's
To be-
aggressive,
To
then
be clear, it's not
you-
an aggressive dog.
it's
aggressive dog.
aggressive.
And I did
dog.
notice earlier that Cyrus was asking a question.
Yes.
It sounded to me like he was asking a question.
A question.
Yes. Yes.
Not a question, but a question.
Hi guys. I
Which
have a
is going to
question.
be weird for us to deal with. We don't usually deal with those.
With questions.
Yeah. We
I'm
usually
not
deal
sure
with
if it's
questions.
I can't even. I don't know if I can spell it, fellas.
So-
It's not advanced answering techniques.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of problems here, and we're gonna have to cut through some of it just
Sure.
to actually get an answer out.
Right.
You know, but
It's going to be a long podcast if we have to go word by word.
right. Look, I think we got the gist of what happened.
Definitely.
You know, But yeah, if you're dealing with this kind of aggressive animal, you should. It's within your total rights to say, do the thing that prevents this from happening.
Yes.
It's not an aggressive animal, is what he said. It's not aggressive, but we don't know if it was aggressive. Right.
Yeah.
But you, anyway, the animal is acting or crowding you or whatever.
Yeah.
It's totally your right in the downtown of this town, the downtown of this town.
In the downtown of this town.
Dogs should be leashed.
Yeah. Normal dogs, weird dogs.
In the downtown of this town, I promise you. This is my bid for mayor.
yeah.
I
Kills.
promise you, all kinds of dogs will be leashed. Normal dogs, weird dogs, hot dogs, cold dogs. That's right. If you're eating a hot dog, you must put a leash on it.
So you can pull it back out of your tummy.
Right.
Eat it again.
Right. So you're
All hot
imagining.
dogs must be eaten twice.
So you're imagining you swallow the hot dog.
Yes. How do you eat hot dogs, Caleb? Come on.
Well, how are you gonna? How would a hot dog leash work as far as you're concerned?
You're gonna leash every bite. It's gonna be like an
Yeah,
octopus
that would be crazy.
leash.
You're right.
Like 8 bites for a hot dog's pretty. That's pretty reasonable.
I think that's probably
So.
close 6 to 8 bites per hot dog.
6 to 8 bites.
Yeah.
Yeah, not for me. It's just
That's
all
gonna
down
be
in
man-
one. But I was gonna say that I feel like I've had more aggressive, or I've had more aggressive encounters with dogs than this, and reacted much, much more tamely, because I'm scared of, and afraid of that.
I'm
So-
afraid of the dogs.
Yeah,
I'm
so
afraid of the
the
people.
owners.
Tame for you is like curling up in a ball on the ground.
No, not that. Not like outright like cowardly, but just ignoring, just kind of like pretending that nothing happened and that dog and that owner of the dog don't exist.
Yeah.
Even to like the way I'm getting back at them is they're like, "Oh, sorry," and you don't react. You just don't say anything.
A dog's
because
just
it's
like
you know what you did.
A dog is like biting your behind.
No,
your
like-
hindquarters.
but truly,
He's
like,
latched
coming
on,
close.
and
Caleb,
you're
that's
just
such
walking,
a cartoon
and, you're
and a
just walking.
caricature of what
Yeah.
Gabe is
Like,
saying.
I'm
Yeah.
just going.
Yeah.
I'm
And
just trying
now
to get
you're
through
just
the park.
Caleb. You're just pushing ahead with your fantastic,
Yeah.
crazy idea
Right.
about what's happened to Gabe. It's not real.
When in truth, it's me walking by a dog and a dog slightly like nipping at my hand as my
Okay.
hand swings in front of them.
Yeah.
After I've just eaten some hot dogs, so I'm sure it smells nice.
Oh, yeah.
for the dog.
It's not spiky
unless it's one of those
hand.
weird dogs that doesn't like hot dog smell. But I swing my hand in front of the dog's face and I say, "Ooh, take a whiff of that."
Oh,
and
wow.
then the dog goes and like nips at my hand,
Yeah.
and then I just shut down. I don't say anything. And I just
So you're
keep
kind of
walking.
talking just to the dog, taunting the dog.
Yes.
And then they say sorry
Right.
to you.
No, the owner does. The owner
Right.
says, "Oh, sorry."
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
the dog is responding to the taunts.
Well, no, I mean to them they don't. They haven't seen or heard any of the
okay, you've
taunts.
done it so
Yeah,
deftly.
it's surreptitious.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's like dog. Yeah, it's like dog whispering essentially.
Yeah.
But you're kind of just pissing them off.
Yeah, dude. It's like Caesar
Provoking.
Milan. It's kind of it's taunting. Is like my hand is a mouth.
My hand is
My
a
hand
mouth.
is a mouth. That's
And my
his
fingers
catchphrase.
are hot
The
dogs.
dog whisperer.
Yeah.
His catchphrase is "My hand is a mouth."
Is that true?
Yes, he
Yeah.
says it all the time.
Okay.
Man,
All right.
that's I did not know that. They should definitely be selling T-shirts with his picture.
Yes.
In the words, "My hand is."
My hand is a mouth. So
The cartoon of him
I
with
would-
his hands.
I would own that.
the dogs don't care. They don't care. That wouldn't be a problem for the dogs if they heard him say that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't care. It's a problem for me if I heard somebody say, "My hand is a mouth."
My hand
I'd
is
be
a
like,
This is a little off topic, but
You do a 5 and he goes, "My hand is a mouth."
have Caesar Milan and that bounty hunter
Dog?
ever done anything together?
They should. They should get together. Dog goes out, catches a bounty, or is about to, but it gets away. And then
Okay.
Caesar Milan comes in and calms Dog, the bounty hunter, down,
Okay. Yeah.
and trains him to
Yeah.
catch bounties better
Right. But then
by pinning Dog, the bounty hunter, with his hand.
yeah. But there's like
My
also
hand is
this
a-
other.
He's looking at everyone else. Dog the bounty hunter's on the ground struggling, and he's looking around at Dog's team, going, "This,
yeah.
my hand is a mouth."
And Caesar Milan becomes the alpha to
Yeah.
Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, and
Which
now Caesar-
honestly, just based on looks and like vibes, would be pretty amazing.
would
That
be
would be a
amazing.
pretty incredible.
Now Caesar
feat.
Milan can just tell Dog the bounty hunter to go do his will.
Right.
Yeah.
But then there's this other subplot in the show. There's a subplot where it's like Dog the Bounty Hunter's wife, like, you know, has like a wandering eye for Caesar Milan. So there's like this like
yeah.
tension that's built in there. So there's this whole. I just in my viewing of the Dog the Bounty Hunter show, his wife is really the standout character.
She's pretty
for as
wild.
crazy as Dog the Bounty Hunter is,
Yeah.
she is everything
Well,
and more. It's
You have to imagine
phenomenal.
someone who is like
who's gonna marry Dog the
emphatically supportive of a man who's Dog the bounty
Right,
hunter and looks
right.
like Dog the bounty hunter. She's gonna be
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
She's gonna be a weird dog.
that is one weird dog. Love that. But
Yeah.
yeah. So I was impressed also that he responded in that manner.
Yeah. Yeah. So there. It sounds like there's a little bit of divided opinion here. I think Cyrus did the wrong thing. I don't think he should have said anything.
Right.
That's where I'm at right now, guys.
yeah.
Interesting.
I think it's a mistake because if the people can't readily see that what they've done is a problem, I feel like there's no winning in the situation, right? If you don't see like someone being harassed by your dog and kind of go, "Oh, that probably shouldn't happen. I should have done something to prevent that from
Okay.
happening." They don't seem like people who are going to rethink their position.
And can I
you know
can I
what I
ask?
mean?
You say they don't see. Is it because they're further back, or
No, I'm saying they
their
don't see it
perception?
as a problem.
That's exactly
Yes.
the issue.
See,
Is that
'cause-
usually people say, "Well, I like dogs. Everybody likes dogs.
Yes.
So I'm just going to let my dog run wild,
Yeah.
and who's going to care because
Right.
everybody likes
Everybody
dogs.
likes dogs. My dog is a good dog.
Yeah. Which is also not true.
It's
not
not
everybody
true.
likes dogs, and your dog is not a good dog. No dogs are
Our
good
dad's a
dogs.
veterinarian, and he always said that he had only been bitten by dogs that people had sworn to him did not bite.
Exactly.
And so
Your dog is a good dog to you.
your dog is a good dog most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
but placed in any given set of circumstances, you don't know what your dog is going to
Sure.
do,
Yep.
and it's crazy to think that you do.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I agree with that, but that's why I think so. What you're saying is just because someone won't respond appropriately to a reprimand, that you shouldn't reprimand them at all.
No, I'm saying when the stakes are what these stakes are, which is that the dog wasn't doing any harm.
Right.
Like if it's like if you have something of aggressive dog,
Right.
Right.
and that's entering the picture. Now I think everything is changed.
Sure.
Yes, you do. You have like for the public good, a necessary
Yeah.
burden.
Yeah.
Can I
to-
just stop down
to
on
deal
one
with that.
thing
Yeah.
here? I'm sorry. I know
Yeah.
we've kind of talked about it a bit already,
Yeah.
but aggressive
Yeah.
and aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said the dog is not aggressive.
Right.
So if it's not aggressive,
Right.
that means it's aggressive.
Right. Yeah. Aggressive. Yeah. You could just say that.
Meaning without.
So
Yeah.
you think this dog
Yeah.
was aggressive?
yeah.
If I'm to believe what we heard,
Yeah.
just thinking about it.
That's true. If we're really holding Cyrus
and-
accountable for his words.
We know Cyrus is a bit of a wordsmith. We have some priors with him.
Yeah.
We know that he has a way with words.
He does.
Definitely.
You
Yeah.
know, it's
He has
it's
a way with
definitely-
words. At open mics, he uses all kinds of words.
Right.
And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And the vocabulary on this guy.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
amazing.
It's astounding.
Yep.
It's not astounding.
No. It's astounding.
Astounding. Yeah.
Astounding.
I've never astounded.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always
even once.
without.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He leaves me without any
Stout.
Yes.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
You guys got to see this
guys-
guy.
gotta
Oh, I don't
check
think
him
you
out.
have to see him. You should hear him though.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, that's true. It's more about the words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a
He's
look.
got a look, it's
He's
true.
got a look. It's
true.
part of it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I mean,
The
yeah,
Cyrus
yeah.
brand, could the Cyrus brand be what
Thank
it
you.
is?
Thank
Yes.
If he didn't have that
You mean
look.
McCormick?
McCormick.
That's the name of it.
Oh, the guy that does the spices?
Yeah, his name was Cyrus McCormick.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
really?
Yeah, it's just a deep spice
Yeah, well,
Okay.
joke for
it's a
those
deep
spice
spice
heads
joke.
out there.
Deep spice joke, maybe a deep Cyrus joke.
Yeah.
Like, it just depends on
Yeah.
where your interests
Which,
are.
yeah, if you're interested in guys named Cyrus,
Right.
that joke's gonna land for you. If you like all kinds of different spices,
Right.
Can we do anything with Deep Spice 9? Is there
Oh,
anything
yeah.
there?
I mean, just saying, it's good.
I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
that's-
just Deep Spice 9
Yeah.
and my 11 herbs and spices.
Okay, Colonel. Yeah, let's go.
9/11. Dude, never forget my Deep Spice 9 and 11 herbs and spices. If you do, we're out of business.
Yeah. We've only got so much runway.
So, what I was trying to think of other circumstances where I've been, just to try to, empathize with Cyrus.
Yeah.
Situations where I've been needed to rebuke someone, and the headspace that puts you in, or being yelled at by someone.
Sure.
Which one time I had a paper route in town here when I was in college. I was covering it for someone, and then they decided they didn't want it and just gave it to me, and it was terrible because it was like a penny saver
Oh,
Yeah,
kind of thing. So nobody asked for this paper.
Right. You were just throwing unwanted paper out the window.
Weird.
Yeah.
Distributing papers that nobody had asked for, but they
A
they're
slight adjustment, and you're just littering. You're just littering
very
around
it's
town.
very slight.
It's like, yeah, litter with plastic on
Yeah.
it.
right.
So I delivered a paper to this guy's house, and as we were leaving, he came out and he was like, "I do not want this paper.
Mm-hmm.
Stop delivering the paper to me." And I said, "Oh yeah, you can call and just tell them, because I don't run the paper company
Right.
that's delivering the papers. I don't know all of the ins and outs. I just go pick up some papers and rubber bands once a week and distribute these things." And he was like, "No, you take me off the list." And I said, "Oh, yeah, it's just real easy to," mostly just because I didn't have any idea how I was going to,
Right.
how to do this. I could call and say, "We're not delivering to this number," but there was no protocol for this. And he said, "No, you take me off." And I said, "Oh, I don't know what to do about that." And he said, "Why don't you take some responsibility?" That really stuck with me.
Wow, this guy wants you to do a lot of taking
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Take my number off that list
Yeah.
and take
and
responsibility
take
by
responsibility by taking. my number
Interesting.
off that
Yeah.
list. I hadn't thought of that. That's a good point, kid.
It's just the way my brain works.
This guy was something of a wordsmith.
Well, but the only taking he didn't want to do was take that paper anymore.
Yeah,
Because
that's right.
Yeah,
He wanted to get rid of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, I actually have called.
And so-
I've called the newspaper company and said, "Please don't send me this anymore. I
Sure.
just throw it away."
yeah.
But that was me taking responsibility.
Right.
So why
Yeah.
didn't he take some
Take-
responsibility?
I'm not.
Josh,
I mean, thank
should have
you.
pushed
Thank you.
back.
As I'm talking about it now, I mean, I really do feel that I was in the wrong.
yeah,
That it is it's not much to ask to say, "Hey, could you figure out a way to make sure I don't get this paper anymore?" I don't want to live in a world of bureaucracy.
Right.
but
Where where all human interaction has to be like, well, you got to go through the appropriate channels, and you can't
That's-
just tell me.
that's true.
The
But
guy
when
who
you're
delivers your paper.
But when you're talking about a huge system where there
Yeah.
are all of these moving parts, and
Yeah.
you are just executing your small part of it,
yeah,
it does get a little tricky. And saying, "Hey, I
true.
need you to remember not to throw that paper in this one yard."
yeah,
And even though I'm not going to do anything to ensure that that's not on the list
Yeah.
anymore or anything, come on. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, guess what? I didn't. As long as I was delivering the paper, I never delivered to that house again.
Well, there you go.
There you go. You just
Taking
took them off your list.
I
responsibility.
took it off my list.
You remembered
yeah.
just by since purely like sense memory. Like,
Right.
Don't throw paper over here.
Yeah.
I learned.
When we get to here, don't throw paper.
Yeah.
It was as though this guy was Caesar Milan and I was Dog the Bounty Hunter.
He is like, my mouth is my mouth.
My mouth is a hand.
Yes.
My hand is a mouth. Is that what it said?
But he was kind of smacking you around with his words.
He was.
So he was kind of like, my mouth is my hand.
So this is all just kind of setting the table
Yeah.
for what we're supposed to get to, right?
Yeah, right.
What were the actual posed questions?
So the questions are: was Cyrus in the right
Yeah.
Okay.
to offer his rebuke?
Right.
we're split on.
Which we are still split
I say
on.
We're
he's
still figuring it out.
he's in the right. I say when someone transgresses your
Yeah.
personal space like that,
Yeah.
it's okay to, like he said, in a friendly manner,
Right.
potentially a aggressive manner,
Right.
to respond back and say, "No thanks.
Yeah.
Can you leash your dog? You know,
Right.
I'm out here trying to get home. It's dark out.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a big strange dog.
Right.
Just trying to go home.
Yeah.
I'm a young man.
Yeah.
I'm a
small-
young man and I just want to go.
I'm a small man trying to go
Can
home.
I just try to go home and not see any big strange dogs
Yeah.
in
Right.
the dark?
Right.
Yeah.
in
This
the dark.
is. Yeah. And we do have to take Cyrus's word that this was a big dog.
Sure.
Yes.
In the same way that Justin might find a particular dog to be big.
Like a
Sure.
pug.
Right.
Or-
Cyrus.
Or a pincher,
Right.
Yeah.
like
yeah.
a miniature
Or miniature,
pincher.
Miniature
a
pincher,
min pin.
Yep.
Yep.
Similar kind of size guys. So,
Right.
yeah. A big dog. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm sure.
To some of us, yeah.
It's a big dog. The so that's part of it. And then the additional question that he had is how should he go about pursuing justice for
Right.
himself?
So he didn't get justice because the dog was not leashed and he was sworn at.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which of those? He didn't really specify. I guess both. If we could do both
Yeah.
in one, that'd be good. Can we do both in one? Get that dog leashed and get them to ask for forgiveness for swearing.
How do we do that?
How do we? Yeah.
No, that's a really good question. And so but
I mean, you just
before
use
we
the leash. Sorry.
But I think before we advance to that point, let's see if we can figure out a way of achieving some kind of consensus about
Okay.
Yeah.
whether or not he did the right thing.
Okay.
I feel like we owe him an answer there. I'm going to break it down a little more. We'll see if this opens it up for us to find some common ground.
Okay.
I believe that both things are kind of extreme. Okay, so I believe it's extreme.
Both things are kind of extreme.
Both
Which
sides.
things?
Both sides.
Both sides of not doing anything or
No,
doing
no.
something.
I'm sorry. Both sides of Cyrus's position. The people who own the dog and
Right.
Cyrus have both. They've both acted in an extreme manner,
Sure.
as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
There's no way that I think you should be walking around town with a dog not on a leash.
I agree.
That just doesn't. That sounds wrong to me.
Right.
I can't imagine. Like, we have a dog park out, a little ways out of town.
Right.
You can go there and let your dog run free.
Absolutely.
If there's someone walking through that park, they're going to get sniffed.
Right.
Right.
By even a big dog.
Yep.
It is a dog park.
It's a dog park.
Right.
Yes, caveat emptor. But in any other situation, walking around town, you should not have your dog off the leash.
Absolutely.
That's
Can we-
crazy
Can we put
behavior.
it this way? Service animals,
Yes.
carefully trained for
Right.
years and
Right.
years. A lot of them have leashes on
Well,
all the time.
But honestly, they're not much of a service animal to some of these people if they don't have some way of.
Actually pulling them around.
I understand what you're saying.
The leash
but the
is
idea
maybe
is
more for the person.
But the idea is
Yeah.
the idea
Trying to
remains
stay
that
tethered to the visible world.
well, okay, but also there are service animals for other applications.
Well, that's all kind of
But-
BS, but yeah.
Well, no, not all of it. Some of it is. I agree with that. But we don't have to get into that right now. But what I will say is, like I said, they're very carefully trained for
Yeah.
years and years,
Sure.
and they still have leashes on them to
Yeah.
maintain proximity with the owner. And I would assume that part of that is control because
Yeah.
dogs are unpredictable.
A little bit unpredictable.
That's and if you are training your dog to the level of a service animal,
yeah.
you're still probably going to need to put a leash on it in a situation where you're walking around downtown.
I
A
think
leash
so.
and some kind of coat.
Yeah. Right.
Yep. With a handle on
A
it.
flashy vest.
Put a handle on your dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
like-
your second point, Josh.
And some of these guys, you put a handle on this dog, and it's a big dog. Let's say
Yeah.
it is a big dog.
yeah.
It's not a pug.
Right.
It's a big dog to Cyrus or Justin.
Yeah.
You guys can go for a ride.
Basically a saddle.
It's like the pommel of a saddle.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what the handle becomes.
Hold on to that.
Yeah.
Now, who's in charge of the dog?
Right.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
That's maybe another way to do this. Bring a
Interesting.
leash with you.
You got the spurs.
Out.
Yeah.
Bring a leash with you out. If someone's
Carry-
not going to leash their dog, you leash the dog.
You leash
now
your
it's your
dog.
dog.
Interesting. And you could even have some kind of ready to go saddle
Yes.
situation.
Right.
You
For you.
when they're not leashing their dog,
Right.
you're like, oh, I guess this dog is. I'm gonna
Woo, doggy.
I'm gonna tame this
I'm
one.
going to bust this Bronco.
I'm gonna bust this bronc.
right.
Exactly.
Take it on. Take some responsibility, Cyrus.
Yep. Do some horse breaking on these dogs.
Yeah. yeah. I mean, that's part of it. There is like, what are they going to cuss at then? You know,
Yeah.
They're going to be shouting out expletives of
Yeah.
like amazement.
Yes.
Like, wow, look at this guy. Look at this guy
Yeah.
break my dog.
Expletives of wonder and awe.
He's really training my dog.
So yeah, that's I like kind of where we're at. There, I feel like the way we're talking about this now is we're kind of meeting part way.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we are.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we found some common
We
ground.
accept that both things can be true.
Find
Yeah.
some common ground in this town's downtown.
Right.
That's another part of my
Your-
mayor
Yeah.
bid.
That's
Mayoral
what he's
platform.
just advertising his coffee shop.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Common grounds.
Common grounds.
Let's dig more into kind of the second part of things there, where we're trying to figure out exactly. We made some suggestions
Yes.
about how Cyrus could achieve justice
Yeah.
for himself, but let's go a little deeper into that part of things.
Yeah.
Any ideas there?
So first idea was you can rope the doggy.
yeah,
You
can
take the doggy.
you can have some means of control.
Yeah.
Whatever's comfortable for you, given your means and stature.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then so that and instead so, but you're gonna go have to find the dog then. This
That-
same
thi-
dog. To
That's
get
true.
justice
This
for
is
this
not.
instance.
This is not.
Sure.
That is kind of a more generalized
Yeah.
justice. You're addressing the systemic issue, but not the specific.
So you got to find out.
infraction.
You should find out where these people live.
Yeah. I mean, I am having a hard time
Yeah.
imagining what these people are.
Yeah.
They have a large dog. It's a couple,
Okay.
so there's some stability
Yeah.
in their lives.
Yeah.
But they're just wandering around with a dog. Then when they're confronted, they're just swearing publicly.
Yeah.
It does sound like this might be a couple that has an interesting kind of home situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
And
Like
how
their home
interesting.
isn't
Yeah.
isn't what we would doesn't have a door
It doesn't have
okay.
a door.
or it doesn't have rooms.
Yes.
Just one just one kind of main room.
It's just sort of
yeah.
where they
And there's just,
choose
like-
to lie down.
An opening
Yeah. Or that.
in the front of the
Yeah.
It could be any
house.
kind of the home is just where their heart is and that's literally in their body. So
Yeah.
wherever they lie down, that's
Yeah.
where their home is.
Okay. So okay. I'm,
So
I don't know if I'm following.
Well, I think Caleb's is trying to delicately address
Okay.
the idea that these people might be unhoused.
They're
Unhoused
suffering
individuals.
being unhoused.
yes.
Yeah.
But they have a home.
Yeah.
Right.
It's where their
where
heart
their
is.
heart is.
Where their body is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
or like their home is like
That seems like this kind of these kinds of this is like
this
that
kind of
might-
behavior.
This kind of behavior
Yeah.
would go with these
Yes.
kinds of
Not to paint with too broad a brush.
yeah. This
yeah,
kinds of behavior
sure.
would be something that these kinds of
Yeah.
Yeah. So
individuals.
Some of these guys, some of the, and I like
You
I
like
like
these
these
guys?
guys.
oh yeah, totally.
They
No,
can be fun.
Yeah.
they great.
They're nice, and
But
troubled, but
Who's not?
he did not give us any hints about the socioeconomic
No.
status of these people, so we can only assume that they're vagrants. Like,
yeah, well,
right?
if you
Like,
go out
that's-
at night and you're together,
Yeah.
it's not just a man
Yeah.
out with his dog.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
that guy lives in an apartment.
yeah, he's taking the dog on a walk,
yeah.
and
But if you're together,
And he's doing it kind of as a service for his wife or girlfriend. She doesn't have to go out. He's going out.
maybe
at
he's
night.
picking up a pint of ice cream too,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
like that sort of thing.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Like really
Like
cozy.
A thoughtful fellow.
Yeah, right. That's what we think when we see a
Yeah.
single man with a dog
We-
at night.
he's gone out.
But if it's a
with,
couple,
if it's a couple, and they're using that kind of gutter talk,
Yeah.
look,
Yeah,
man,
that's true.
the street.
the streets.
Yeah.
That's where
that's
you
where
learn,
they learned it.
That's where you learn that kind of talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on the streets.
I think so. I think that's I think that's all reasonable. That's good. Let's move forward with that.
So
assumption.
in that situation, the
Yeah,
question
yeah.
is, what can you do to
Get
to
justice.
punish these homeless people?
and I will say, probably don't pursue justice on that.
Wait, why not?
Well, there might be some other other issues. Maybe other ways that you can
But just
address
because
the
someone
issue.
doesn't have a house, they can do whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know if we have to. I mean,
That's what I'm arguing for. I want to go on the record.
You're just like, if you don't have a house.
Yeah. If you have no
if you
house,
don't have a
nuts.
house, there's enough problems.
Yeah.
Like, no one will make
Right.
more problems for you, no matter what you
Right.
do to anyone
That's
else.
right. Yeah, you're not responsible.
You're dealing with a
I'm not.
lot.
Okay, we get it.
The
You're
guy
on out.
yelling at Josh
Yeah.
about the thing
Right.
should have asked if he had a house. Do you
Right.
have a house?
Yeah.
No? Okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
This is my house. This
If
car.
you said yes, you have to take
I
responsibility.
don't have a house, but I have a home. It's where my body is.
Yeah.
Because my heart's there
That's
too.
where my heart is.
In the car.
No, I mean to be clear, that's not what I think.
Okay.
That's not what I think.
Yeah.
But what kind of justice is that?
Well,
you
so in okay, so one thing that we're saying there is that justice requires wisdom to apply it.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
There might be a situation where a dog sniffing someone, and then you getting sworn at by somebody means, well, let's get on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's deal with this.
Yeah.
In a serious way. If these are affluent people,
Right.
and there's
They don't have as many problems.
they don't have
'cause
as
they
many
have money.
problems.
Right.
That saying is wrong.
Yeah.
And
Mo
More money,
money,
more
no
problems.
problems?
No,
No.
more money, less problems.
Mo money,
Mo money, no problems.
problems.
Yeah. Yep. I
But
mean, I
also-
like mine better. More money, less problems.
how about this? Can we compromise on mo money, not as many problems?
Yeah, that's good.
Is that good?
Yeah, yeah.
But well, I was going to say in that case, you might actually want to pursue
Yeah.
legal action because you might actually get something out of it.
Right.
Ah, that's true.
right.
If the point is
Take
to
them
get
every,
something
every
out
dime
of
they
it,
got.
Right.
get something out of it, and not just you getting something out of it is seeing these homeless people housed in a prison.
Yeah.
That could be something you get out of it
Right. Yeah.
if you pursue legal action against
Yeah.
these other people. It's like,
Yeah.
finally, look, we know this isn't. Look, home is where the heart is, so prison is your home.
Yeah. What did you do? What did you do to get here? Well, my dog sniffed somebody.
And I,
My
But
my
I screamed in obscenity at them.
my average sized dog sniffed a small man. Okay. Well,
and then he pursued legal action.
that's right.
This small man had big lawyers.
Okay, so that feels like it's in the area of an answer.
Well, I mean, when you're looking at it with
Yeah.
our knowledge, our know-how, our
Yeah.
expertise.
You might have had to listen to all the previous episodes to understand that this is an answer.
right.
But
And some of you may have had to go through twice.
Yeah.
But here we are. We've arrived at what we're going to call an answer.
And that's when we're talking about kind of summing up
yeah.
Right.
and dealing with a imparting kind of the idea of a technique.
Sure.
Is it's like someone said about poetry that a poem is never finished; it is simply abandoned.
Oh,
Okay.
that's beautiful.
And that's kind of the way that that's
Right.
what we're learning about an answer.
yeah.
Sometimes an answer is never given. Sometimes an answer is never.
Well-
let's just say an answer is never given. It is simply abandoned.
Yeah, there's some truth to that, and
Yeah.
there's some. And one thing I would say is, if you are talking and you're answering a question and you feel like you haven't answered it, one thing to do is just keep going,
Yeah.
keep
Yes.
going, keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like you say, when you've decided that you've gone far enough,
Right.
you stop
Yeah.
that track. You
Yeah.
Yeah.
leave that path.
Yes.
And that's one way to answer some questions.
Yes.
It's one of the techniques I think we've exemplified today.
Right. Is sort of the infinite complexity of life and the impossibility of achieving kind of final objective
Right.
truth in as regards to, I mean, we
Right.
spent the good bit of 50 minutes
Yeah.
Yeah.
talking about this,
Yeah.
and this is as far as we got.
And
Well, I
look,
mean-
we're professionals.
We're
It's not always.
professionals.
This was a tricky one.
Right.
The
This is
truth
kind
of the
a tricky-
matter.
I'll admit it.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one.
This is a tricky
Well,
one.
yeah. Sometimes you there's a question and there's an obvious answer.
Yeah.
But then sometimes the answer to a simple question like "What is your hand?" The answer is my hand is a mouth.
Yeah. Right.
And that just kind of throws everything into a
Whoa,
different
right.
context. And
Is
kind
that
of-
true?
Right.
Is it true that my hand
Right.
is a mouth?
Is that true for everybody?
Right.
Is that true for
It's
all
one of those
creatures,
different
great
kinds
and
of things.
small?
It's like a different way of like where you answer a question with a question.
Yeah.
What you do is you answer it with an answer, and that
Right.
answer is like, I got a lot more questions.
Now there's questions. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so like justice, what is justice?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
What, like, do we know exactly how tall Cyrus is?
Right.
Like, is he,
No.
like, he must be under 5.
I don't. You
Or-
know, I would believe he's over 5 foot.
Okay.
I think he's over 5 foot by a little bit.
You're
yeah.
Gabe. It's hard for you. You're
soaking
tall.
wet.
I am tall. I'm a tall gentleman.
Soaking wet. Cyrus
Yeah.
is over 5 foot.
Yeah. But
He's
yes.
like he's like one of those sponges
Yeah.
that expands in water.
when his tooties, his little tooties, are when he's been in the bath a little while,
Yeah.
they're pruned up.
Yeah.
That's gonna-
Gives him a little.
Yeah.
He's gonna be over 5 feet.
He gets that prune height going. That's what. Well, like when you're a kid and you take a bath, it's your parents never measure you
Right.
against the wall.
Right.
After a bath because it's not accurate.
No.
It's like getting your wedding rings. Your ring
Aggressive-
size after you've had a
Competitive
cocktail.
families will do that. I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
that happen.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's kind of.
But they don't love truth. They're just trying to win
Win.
at some stupid game.
Yes.
They're trying to prove that their kids are taller than you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Ridge. I don't know. Somebody's.
Ridge, named you after my favorite
Yeah.
wallet.
Yeah. because
Hold on, I don't I like the joke and I laughed at it, but I don't know what that means. Is that a
Ridge
kind
wallet
of
is
wallet?
well, let's
Wallet,
not give them
yeah.
any free airtime.
Yeah,
If
sorry.
they want to come
Oh,
talk
yeah.
to us about
They could come talk
a
to us.
sponsorship deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't use the product.
Yeah.
I see ads for them on the internet, and I think, well, that looks like just about the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I'm not going to use that.
Yeah.
But if you want to give me some money,
We would love to lie about
Yeah.
your product.
yeah.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
are people trying to innovate the wallet? Let's
Yeah.
just face facts. What we got's
Disruptive
pretty
wallets.
good.
Disrupt the wallet scene.
Yeah.
Wallets have been the same for too
Yeah.
long.
Yeah. And we're
They've only
coming
been a place where you keep your money.
we're coming for socks next.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
What are you going to do better about socks? They tried the finger, like the
Ugh.
Yeah.
toe sock.
Finger
If you want,
Sucks.
hey, if you want taller children,
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Ridge wallets.
What was this guy gonna say to his son, Ridge?
His son Ridge.
Yeah,
What was he going to say?
sorry, I'm sorry, I interrupted.
your guy was talking to his son, Ridge. He's a
About
competitive parent.
yeah. He's
And
just
he's
he's going to try to I don't know, think tall thoughts or something. I don't know.
I like it.
I can't get in the mind of somebody like that. I'm not a very competitive person, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, and
like I'm not competitive at all. Like
Yeah.
I'm the least competitive person.
Would you say that, Gabe?
Definitely.
I mean, I
I don't know
I
if
am-
you're.
dude,
I don't
I am-
know if you're. I don't know if you're less competitive.
I am
than
I
me.
am dude, I am
than me.
completely incompetitive.
incapable
I'm
of
incompetent.
Yeah,
Okay,
No,
I think
I
we
agree
all
with that.
we'll
Yeah.
all agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, incompetent.
incompetent. But
I
I think I'm probably the least competitive.
I don't know. I think that there's
I'm the oldest, so there's been so little reason for me to develop
You've
my
done-
sense of competition. I've just always had an advantage.
I think you've always been
I
worried
think
about
it's-
people coming for that crown, and so you've like
you have to keep ahead.
yeah, you have that competitive edge.
just
But
don't-
for me, I'm not worried about it at all.
And Josh, I was wondering, where do you keep that crown that mom and dad gave you?
That's one of my most closely guarded secrets, guys. That's one of the ways that I keep the crowd.
Right?
Right.
I only
Nobody
bring-
knows.
We
what it
haven't.
is.
I haven't seen
only-
it in a long time.
I only. Well,
you used to bring it out more.
I used to bring it out more. I'll bring it out, once a year. I wear it. I
Usually
wear
at
it
New
But
Year's.
you know what my
New Year's
suspicions
on
are?
New Year's Day.
I don't even think that's the real one. I think it's like the royal
Oh,
royal
come
jewels.
on.
It's like
Oh.
a decoy, and the real one's in Fort Knox somewhere or something like that.
Okay.
Give me a break.
Okay.
Please.
How would I manage something like that?
I don't know, but that's why I think I'm less competitive than you are.
Can I answer that question? You said, how would you manage it?
Uh-huh.
3D printing.
Okay. Interesting.
And that's why it's called advanced answering techniques.
Yeah.
And everyone, you can send in your questions, or I guess now answers to.
Yeah. Answer anyone's questions that you've heard before on here.
In
and we'll-
particular, I would like an answer to the question of what's a weird dog? Like, what is
Yeah.
a weird dog like
Yeah.
the smell of?
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah. And you can send those. We're looking for audio files to advancedansweringtechniques@gmail.com. Guys, this has been great.
Yeah. Loved
Yeah.
it. Really had a great time.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And
For
thank you, Josh.
participating.
Thank you for hosting us.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And for having everything set up when we showed up here. And
Yeah,
it
we
was
didn't
just
have
really
to do
nice
a lick of setting
to just
up.
kind
It
of
was
ease
completely
in.
set up when we came in.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. It was, I mean, I didn't have the recorder. Gabe took it, so.
Right.
Oh, that's true. So
Yeah.
yeah.
we
So-
did have to do some
We,
setting
so
up.
what?
Yes.
So you would have liked me to do what?
We what? Well,
I don't know.
I
I just kind of got Gabe to come over earlier, drop it off, so
just
he can set it up.
just for the listeners, Josh he has this recorder that he has to play his setting up song before he starts setting up, and I had borrowed the recorder,
Yeah.
the whistle,
The whistle.
the
the flute.
yeah,
kind
because
of
I
object.
It
had
makes
a
it
different song that I needed to
It
play.
makes Josh, makes the setting up process take a long time because Josh is using one hand
It's
to play the recorder,
not
and the other
efficient.
hand to set things
Yeah.
up.
yeah.
No,
Why do you do that?
Well, I mean, I would say just listen to the podcast and
yeah, you.
The proof is in
the
the
bad.
pudding
The
there.
bad episodes are the ones where I didn't do that.
it's less of a song,
It's-
more of like a blessing, like a spell,
Yes.
sort of a buff.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, like
For
we got
us.
a buff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The podcast
So-
got a buff.
it's buff.
And so you were playing a song too, Gabe,
Yeah, I played it.
over your food,
Yeah. Over my food?
over your
Yeah.
food.
No.
Oh,
No, I was trying to get my daughter to grow taller.
Oh yeah. All right, hand in, hand out.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye.
Getting loose, going abroad, going out. seems to be my pleasure.